Welcome to the first official episode of the Grab the Coffee podcast with myself, Shannon Cody, and my co-host slash husband, Trenton James.
Just to get started today, I thought we could just ask each other just a couple of fun questions to get to know each other a little bit. You get to know us.
Hopefully we know each other.
Yeah, a little bit. But just to start off, Shannon, this is the Grab the Coffee podcast. So what is your favorite coffee order?
Well, if I'm ordering from a coffee shop, so we're not using venti, we're just going small, medium, large. I'm going with a large oat milk, sugar-free vanilla latte. If they don't have sugar-free options, I'm probably going with like caramel or hazelnut.
Okay. I prefer just the full sugar syrups. I think they're
So what would be your go-to?
my go-to.
Although you usually order like whatever fun things they have.
Yeah, I do like to go with the specials on the board, but my favorite thing right now is probably just a cortado.
And explain to the world what a cortado.
Do you want like the full explanation?
Sure.
Or
Give us a lowdown.
Okay,
We need it all.
the I believe the root word is
Oh, we're going to the roots.
Spanish for cut. So it's basically just
Cut.
it's like 2 shots of espresso, just 50% espresso, 50% milk.
Because it's cutting you.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you're just cutting the espresso.
So my first question to you, still relating to coffee, is what is the favoritist coffee shop you've ever been to in your entire life? Starbucks. I'm just kidding.
We've had some good times at Starbucks, and some not great times. Like that one time we ordered from one at the airport and it wasn't.
That said it was open and then it was not open. They decided to not be open that day. But the other one down the hall was haters.
So Atlanta airport did not come through there.
No coffee for that trip. No, I think we just reordered probably. I don't remember. But probably reordered.
I think we lost some money though.
Yeah, definitely.
But my favorite was probably, I don't know. Can I say the Roost?
Yeah.
I mean,
You had coffee there.
Yeah, I had lots of coffee there because they just had.
I have two.
You have 2.
One of them was in Seattle. That I went with Megan, and it was in like the Bainbridge area. Do I remember the name at the moment? Absolutely not. And then the Black Dog coffee shop in KC, because we'd go there pretty often, and I just always thought it was cute. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Was that the one next to a bakery?
Yes.
Yeah,
and we got croissants there.
It smelled really good.
Slapped.
Yeah, we love.
But I think I like the memories there were really fond. So that's what I really liked about it.
Okay, yeah, I like that one too. That's good. Next one. Your favorite gift that I've gotten you?
Honestly, I know probably because it's the first one that comes to mind, but what you got me for Valentine's Day, my little gold stackable ring, I really like. And it's something that I know I'm going to have, hopefully, all going well and me not losing anything, I'll have with me for a really long time. And I always liked, like, when my mom would show us all the rings my dad got her. And so I just love, like, the mems or the potential mems.
Okay. All right, so stackable ring, I can just, keep adding on.
Yeah.
Keep buying.
Until my hands are full.
Okay.
My phalanges. Okay. I'm asking the next one, right? Okay. What are 2 items on your bucket list?
2 items. I really want to just kind of travel all around Europe. Check out.
Do you want to like go backpacking? Is it like a casual like
I don't know if
fancy
I'm much of a
stays?
backpacker.
Like, are you staying at like the top hotels in the Europe landscape?
Probably not. I don't think we can afford that. But just going to like Italy, Greece. I think it'd be fun to go to Istanbul as well,
Mm.
and England, Scotland.
Did you ever play Just Dance?
No, I did not.
Okay, well, there's this one dance where it was about Istanbul, and you did like some sort of dance. It was really fun. I don't really remember the
Yeah,
dance now.
that specific dance.
That specific dance. Yep,
Okay.
that's what I think of.
All right.
I think you did something like, like I don't remember. I'm gonna have to pull up the Just Dance one and show it to you.
Just Dance teaching geography.
Yes. Definitely. Wait, you only gave us one. It's a 2.
Oh, two. Ooh. The next one would be hard, but maybe like entering like some kind of like casual amateur like road racing.
Casual amateur road racing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing.
Like, are you thinking like Formula One style car racing?
No, I would die in an F1 car.
Okay. So
Uh,
what am I like if I'm trying to picture this because I'm trying
Imagine like a fancy sports car
Okay.
on a road,
on a road?
like a road.
It's like
road
NASCAR,
course.
but casual and amateurs.
See, NASCAR's not really like a fancy.
Okay. Well, they
Sports
have like
car.
a Porsche racetrack thing here.
Yeah,
So like that. Like where you're driving like nice fancy cars.
yeah.
Quote fancy? I don't know. What's like a nice sports car?
I don't know.
I know like
Is-
5 cars in my whole life. It
just
took me
kinda
a
depends on
long
what you
time
want.
to learn that it's Audi.
Audi.
It's the circle one.
Yeah,
I always thought that was the Olympic car.
the
Fair enough.
Olympic car.
Yep, I was like, it looks like the Olympic rings.
Okay,
The Olympics must sponsor this.
but if you can't do that, I'd maybe get a pilot's license and like fly around in like a little Cessna.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
I wanted to get my pilot license a few summers ago, but then COVID happened.
yeah.
So I couldn't get it during my internship. Hate to see it. Okay, your question now.
Man. So my last question for you is, what's the best restaurant we've been to together?
I think we're going to have the same answer, which I think is good because we dropped a bag on this meal for us.
Was it
But-
our New York City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
That was really good.
We did drop some cash on that, but it was really good. But we also got 3 courses. 3 courses? right?
Something, yeah.
Yeah, because I got the bread and the meat and then the dessert
And the wine too.
and the wine. The wine was really good too.
No,
Little
I had
chef's kiss.
several drinks there.
Yeah, but then we walked out and you were like, "That's the most I've ever dropped at a restaurant."
It was a lot of money. We only did that like once on the trip though, so
No worries. We didn't just spend
Yeah.
like $3,000 on food over the course. That'd be nuts.
yeah, luckily you understand our financial situation.
Let's do this every night. Okay, my last question for you, and to transition us into our little topic for today. What has been your favorite part about moving to Georgia? More specifically, Atlanta, but Georgia, the warmth and all that.
Yeah, moving to Georgia. Just growing up, I always wanted to live on the East Coast. And, I guess we're not on the coast, but it still kind of counts. But we get the warm
In
weather.
range,
Yeah.
in range to it.
It's a very different environment and culture here than compared to Missouri.
I was trying to describe it the other day in writing my blog, and I couldn't find like the words to describe how like the Atlanta vibes are different than like, let's say Charlotte or Kansas City or Denver. I don't know. Is there words you can put to it?
I don't know. I know it certainly smells better than Denver, but I know that one. I like Charlotte to me, like it was like real fancy, but it didn't seem as fun.
Yeah. There's just like a creative I don't know, they're just like such a mix of people that you get just meet a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's really interesting, and still can't put words to it, so I'm not even gonna try. Okay, is that your favorite part?
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite part has definitely been the warmth, because like today is a very chilly day for us, but we were still able to take a walk outside. Now it was cold, and I'd prefer it to be 50 degrees, but at least I can go outside and like take a walk and not like counting down the seconds till I need to make it back inside. So that's definitely been a bonus. And I think moving away has definitely created a different relationship for us, because we haven't had anyone near us, we've had to like, I don't know, communicate better and also push each other a little more to get out there, because you have your online friends. Well, they're they're friends in real life,
But I
but you
talk to
talk to
them
them
online,
online.
yes.
And I am very content alone. And so, but pushing each other to go out there and meet people and get involved, which we've been doing a lot better at this year.
I know.
So, and also going on that, yesterday I cut my hair. Like, how much do you think I cut off my hair? It
At,
was like
at least,
under my boob, and now it's like above my
yeah,
shoulder.
10 inches probably.
Yeah. So a lot of hair. And I'm getting my first tattoo today. Some could say I'm having a quarter life crisis, but really it's like the end of my college life, really, because I finished up my CPA exams and just learning how to live when I don't have a next step, that I think is really interesting. Because, like, throughout our entire life, we're always told what to do next, I feel like. Would you agree?
Yes.
Like, go to college, you do this. In college, they even tell you, like, here are the 3 jobs that best fit your field. You should go do that.
Get your internship,
Get your
go to your job.
Yeah. And so after finishing the CPA exam, I did the next step. I got the job, and just being able to like step out and discover, I don't know, just like being able to come back to myself. And that sounds so woo-wooey, I guess would be the word.
Woo wooey.
That's, I feel like, the word people use. They're like, oh, that's kind of like hippie. I don't know. What's a word they use? But I do. I feel like I'm like coming back to myself and exploring the arts more. And I was actually writing a blog post yesterday about this, of just like what it feels like to, be connected to yourself again, and like the joy and freedom in that. Like, I told you this week I wanted to start writing songs again, which is something I haven't really done in years, and start singing and playing the piano, doing blogging, and not like being so concerned with everyone's opinion. And I feel like because there is no next step, that like once you're out of that, is forced an extreme word to use, like a directed pathway, that the choice, your life is now up to you. And to an extent it's always been up to you, but the next steps are purely your choice now. The effort you want to put in, the choices you want to make. Like, my mom isn't probably going to come here and be like, you know what, Shannon, like, should I do something real crazy? She'll probably tell me, but, I just love that, the sense of freedom and the opportunity.
Okay.
So, long story short, I'm just loving Georgia and being able to explore different parts of myself.
So almost like you just coming down here is almost like a freedom, and it's just a completion too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're done with like the required tasks. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I know they're not required, but
like,
we were very strongly encouraged to do.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I would still go to school and stuff. I know that's like the big push. It's like, oh, don't go to college. It's a scam. But
yeah.
Currently the scam is the system. So
Yeah. Well, and I think if I even went back to my 18-year-old self and just could like give her some advice, at the same time I'm like, well, you needed to go through the things you went through to get where you are now. Like, college was fun and I learned a lot and was met some really great people, but I also struggled a lot because of the pressure I put on myself and learning for myself, like when you kind of reach that breaking point and that's the moment you get to decide, like, okay, what do I really want out of life? And so, yes, there are things I'd go tell my 18-year-old self or even like my 2 year ago self when COVID happened. And like, hey, like the world is not so black and white. Like it's not all going to end tomorrow if you decide to change paths. But that's such a stigma. Like I just felt a lot of pressure like, oh, I have to do X, Y, and Z cuz X, Y, and Z have been told that I could do, so I should do them. But that's just not how life works. And life is much more chaotic and not such a straight path that I think we try to make it out to be.
Yeah. I know. So, like, I didn't go to grad school
Mm-hmm.
like you did, getting your master's. So it was just me getting out of school, and then like I started my job, and 3 months later it was total lockdown.
Yeah.
And we spent 2 months.
Yeah, you spent 6-ish weeks because you left on like right before Mother's Day to go back to
Yeah.
your family.
So
And I spent like 3 months.
yeah, just kind of shut up with your family, and then my work stayed remote completely, and I kind of
Mm.
fell in love with that. So, um, and now I've continued to stay remote. So
Yeah.
that's
And we
kind of
both really
just,
like working remote. It's really
yeah,
opened up a lot of other options on what to do with our free time instead of committing way too much time traveling to a job.
yeah, I know. When I first started my job right out of school, I was getting up at like 5 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
leaving at 6, getting there at 7. Um,
And now what time do we wake up?
yeah, like right before work. The best time to wake up.
I
Uh,
cannot do that. No, no, no. I like my mornings. Like, get up at, between 4:30 and 5, have my cup of coffee, or go on a run first. I've been trying to implement the run first so that like I'm functioning when I do my quiet time, and then get ready for the day. I just need like a slow start, like a peaceful start, because if I start off anxious, like my day is just not the same. So if you could go back and tell, because I would say, well, I guess let's get your opinion. Would you say I've changed a lot in a more mental way the past 18 months to a year?
yes, absolutely. Like just getting out of school, you've kind of reached like, oh, I have actual like free time.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I can fill this free time with stuff I want to do and not
Yeah.
studying for a test or doing homework or working out. So,
Yeah.
getting out of like because you had like a really unhealthy relationship with working out. Um,
Yes.
Getting out of rowing in school. So,
Yeah. So I cut off my gym membership because I found out that it was like an addiction to me. Because if I was there, I had to be there for at least like an hour and a half or I was failing the world, which is not the case. And I remember a year ago you told me, I was like, my goal is to, my max workout time can be like an hour. And you were like, you're not going to be able to do that. Like, you're like addicted. I was like, no, I can only do an hour. And now I'm pretty good, I would say. Wouldn't you say? I'm pretty good with like working out
yeah,
and
I've
meditations.
seen you just be like, okay, I'm just gonna do a Peloton ride today and call it
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
So,
Which has given me time because it would just like stress me out like, oh, I need to be in the gym for 2 hours. And I don't really know why. Like, it would just eventually get so unproductive in there. But where like that doesn't have to be a part of me. And I wanted it to be a part of me and tried to force like, no, you have to be an athlete, because that was my way of protection for like years, was being an athlete. Because once my acne started getting bad, my sophomore year of high school, I just was like, okay, well, I can no longer be like the beauty queen I'd always imagined myself to be. So I had to full go sports, because like, well, gotta be good at something. Let's be an athlete. And I think in high school it's very cliquish, you know? So it's just like, my goal was just to survive high school. Like, I can remember in 8th grade telling my mom, like, I just have to get through these 4 years. Which, terrible. That is horrible, Shannon. Like, come on. Don't waste your life. But I had a countdown, like, way too early on until how many days I had left.
I did not have that same experience,
Yeah.
like, at all.
I know. I was going through it, we can just say, you know? But that's why it's like, I would give myself advice, and I wish I could, like, go back to her and, like, help her and just, like, tell her some things. But at the same time, I don't know if she'd listen. Like, did I have, what resources could I have provided for myself to be like, hey, you can be both? Because that's something I've been learning is like, okay, I want to run a marathon, a
Marathon.
a
That sounds
marathon.
interesting.
And I still love fitness. I love to feel healthy and just like working out, like the way it makes my body feel. Like it calms me down. But like, it doesn't have to be my whole personality, if that makes sense. Like, I can be both, and like I can like makeup and fashion and exercise. But like in high school, it was like in my mind one or the other. Like I could either be the YouTube makeup girl or I could be an athlete. And an athlete felt a lot safer. And so I just full sent that through college. And like I wouldn't even like get ready. And I love getting ready. But I just gave it up. I was like, no, we have to be the athlete. And athletes wear sweatpants, they have their hair in ponytails. And that is what I did. Welcome to high school and mostly college, Shannon. Then I'd get ready and I'd be like, oh, I just love this. So how was your high school experience or college experience?
I wouldn't say my high school experience was like that special. I feel like it was
Yeah.
pretty normal.
I mean, mine was too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I just was struggling through a lot.
I don't feel like I was struggling.
Oh, well, you know.
And then, in college, like I probably didn't like utilize.
But I would say you have changed a lot, like since you graduated college to now. Especially since I met you till now. You've definitely changed a lot.
I think just I probably did a lot just to fit in.
Yeah.
Especially in school, and I think that was just to like going to school, like knowing absolutely nobody. Like you want to be like liked by like as many people as possible, or at least that's what I had in my mind.
And just don't want to be like hurt.
Yeah.
That was my mentality. I was like, I just want to feel the pain.
But like now after like stepping out of school, like you don't really have that. Like you can go find like-minded people that you enjoy spending time with.
So would you say it's mainly leaving college that has pushed you out of that safety box? Like out of feeling like you have to be X person to fit in? Like what caused that like change?
I think just getting older and becoming like more comfortable with like who you actually are.
Yeah.
And not having to like put on a front for so many people, because like I don't know if you had this, but like you had like different friend groups, so like you just, like don't interact with each other kind of thing.
Yeah, like I can be this person around these people and this person around these people. That's just such an interesting, I don't know if I necessarily did that. It was more, I guess to an extent, yes, because I was like, to the people I knew well, like aka my family, I'm very comfortable, very open, very myself around them. But that experience I was referring to earlier of just like becoming an athlete and just kind of losing myself in that, um, becoming like no longer pursuing any of the things I wanted to pursue, which was music and art. But I believed I couldn't do those because I didn't meet like some random standard that I decided I made up. I don't know. Um, that I think, I mean, I've talked to my mom about it, but like my mom could feel the change too of like that I was leaving the things that I loved. And so I think I became a very aggressive person as like a way to like just keep the front on. I don't know, it's just so interesting to me. Like, why in that, like, I don't know if it's a key developmental phase. I feel like it is. High school's gotta be, right? Like some key developmental phase. I don't know. But that we have to put on these like masks. And I don't know, maybe I don't think everyone does. But I feel like a majority does. They have to like find some way to fit in.
Yeah, most people do, just to fit
Yeah,
into
and
their cliques.
it's like it's so sad to me because knowing like I don't really regret high school because I learned a lot, and I don't regret college because I learned a lot, but I wish I could have done some things differently. But it's not like a regret. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the reason why I make different decisions now because I don't want to go 10 more years and have to look back and be like, and I'm sure I will, obviously. I'll have learned more and experienced more, but not looking back and being like, you could have gotten involved, you could have made friends, but you were so scared of what people would think of you. And that's something I've talked to you a lot about recently of like trying to be more conscious of my own thoughts when I'm around people and not like spiraling downhill when I talk to people. And I came home the other night and I told you like, I forgot what I told you. I told you something about the thoughts that I have when I'm around people. Well, no, I don't remember. But just being that more aware because I can be very hard on myself. Like, oh, you said the wrong thing again. Like, you freaking Nimrod. Like, you should just be quiet. Um, yeah.
I think part of that's just due to like you having like social anxiety and having to
Yes.
deal with that.
Yes. But I think it's something that being aware of has really helped me like, oh, no, you are safe. The 5 seconds of courage and then being able to find my safe space. Like calm myself down and relax so I can be an inviting person to talk to and not just like having a mental collapse on the inside and just being like, everyone's looking at me. My hair probably looks terrible. You're probably right. Like, oh, I said the wrong thing again. These people think I'm cocky because I said I'm doing this thing that I'm not even good at. Just like the spiral of thoughts. So bringing myself to safety, asking people questions, and like not having to pre-plan like every word I say. Which
Okay. So would you say, but like you're enjoying your period transitioning like out of college into your like early young professional life?
oh, 100%. I feel more myself than I have in since probably my 8th grade year of life. Whatever age that was. Probably a decade ago. How old are you in 8th grade? 14?
That sounds about right.
So about a decade. And that's when I started being like making sports my whole personality and leaving all the things that I had always loved behind. And I think it's the like stillness now. Like I'm no longer filling up my schedule with like a bajillion different things. Like, oh, I have 20 credit hours. I'm in a sport. I got a dog. Like just trying to fill my time to like avoid the healing I needed to do. That now like with the pause, like I was forced to confront it. And then it also be like, well, what do you actually want to do? And like just that option, the opportunity, it was like, oh, I can. And also being away from people, like, it's just your opinion that I'm like always surrounded with. So as long as you're not telling me like, that's a terrible idea, then I'm not like even with the podcast, you were so open to it and just being able to like, you know what, if that's something we can find joy in and like that's gonna bring us joy, like let's do it. Or starting my blog or, you know, just making videos or whatever it may be, like since you're the only opinion that's directly in front of me most of the time, and obviously my family, like I talk to them a lot too, that I no longer feel like the weight of opinions. And that's also allowed for me for allowed a lot of freedom for me. So, yeah. What would you say? How would you turn that question on yourself?
I think I really enjoy it. Just having like the freedom and like finally like having enough money to like kind of pursue different
Yes,
stuff.
that's for sure.
I know like in college, like I had no money to like do anything.
Uh-huh.
And then really in like high school, like I didn't have a job, so I wasn't earning money either. Um, but just being surrounded by like people that
Mm-hmm.
are like open to like whatever you want to try. So like, hey, like let's do a podcast. Uh, it's like having that like positivity, and then like if you don't like something, you don't have to keep going to it. You
Yeah.
know, like anything in school. So just really enjoying like I guess getting older, like entering like this phase of our life.
Where there's just more space, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was good. Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we've probably talked enough today.
Yeah.
So she's off to go get her first tattoo.
Tatted. I
So
keep telling him that'll be a baddie, you know? Because it felt like in the movies back in the day, you know? Like, he got a tattoo, it was like, scandal.
you know, if you enjoyed the podcast today, just you know, like, subscribe,
You can also go
follow.
check out my blog or Trent's blog. His is all about football.
Yeah, we got some fantasy football content coming down the pipeline.
We
You
have an
know,
Instagram page, and I have TikTok. Not that I'm on it a ton, but I occasionally post videos that I find interesting. My goal is to do it a little more frequently, but busy season, taxes, you know. So thank you guys so much for listening today. Come back next Wednesday for another episode. See ya!